Well, we're about to do some cleaning on the outside of this 83 Silverado. I think I'm going to nickname it Mustard because it's yellow. This paint is pretty old, it's dented and scratched and all that, but I think there's a little bit of a shine underneath it. So we're going to get to work on this thing and see if we can bring this lifeless paint back to life. Bring in a little closer here, you can see what I'm talking about. I mean, there's a little bit of reflection showing there, but this is really oxidized and it's got a lot of dead paint on top of what's good under there. We've been working on the other side, so as you can see, there's quite a bit of improvement that can be made on this. So we're going to start with just a good washing with some Dawn detergent and some water. We're going to also give this bed a washing. I don't think we're going to polish it, but Ashley's going to try her hand at power washing for the first time. You good to go?
I'm good to go. Let's make a difference on this truck bed.
So we have given the truck a good washing and got the bed washed out. We'll take a look at that in a minute. But we've been experimenting on what it's going to take to bring back this pretty heavily oxidized paint back to at least having a decent shine on it. So I'll just show you the process we'll go through right quick, and then we'll demonstrate it on this hood and fender. So after a wash, we are going to use this clay, detailing clay, and it's going to pull all the imperfections, or as many as possible, out of this paint. After we clay the whole thing, we're going to use this dual action polisher, and we're going to use some compound. We'll go over that, wipe it down, and then we'll go back with some polish. And this is Bass Pro Shops boat polish. I have 2 bottles of that, and I don't have a boat. So that means it's at least 20 years old because that's the last time I had one, but I think it'll work pretty well. Let's get started. We'll do a little comparison before we get started here. I've got this little LED flashlight. You can see you're not getting much of a reflection on this fender, but I have done the door already and it's night and day. And if I could get the whole truck looking like that, that would be beautiful. If you've never used this clay before, pretty easy to use. You kind of run your hand over an old paint job and it feels rough. And I said before, this removes the imperfections, but the right word is contaminant. So I've got some detail spray here. You can use that or soapy water, just something to keep the surface lubricated. And if it's cold outside like it is today, I had to go inside and run this under a little warm water to make it pliable. Just get it down there, and I'm not pressing very hard at all. I'm just kind of sliding it across, not in a circular motion, but I'm going to do some 90-degree angles here, straight back and forth, and we'll get this little rectangle done here and then bring the camera in and see what the difference is. So we've got 3 areas here. Right here above the clay, I haven't done anything. I've clayed this part over here to the left, and it does look better. And you can look at the clay and see what it pulled off of that paint. And then to the right, I clayed it and then also steel wooled it. So again, be real careful about this. If you don't have confidence in your steel wooling abilities, paint is delicate. But if you look at the reflection from this light as we travel across, again, clayed, nothing, steel wool and clay. You can see we're already starting to pick up a shine. The key is you just want to be real gentle with this steel wool, even if you need it. I had to because of all these little dots here. The clay would not get rid of them. And I tried using the polisher as well, and it had no effect. So I've pretty much had to go to some extreme measures right here. But avoid this one if at all possible. We just did a little piece of our hood there. Kind of bring it in close and get the old flashlight out. First of all, there's the part we have not done. As we cross that line, you can see we're getting a good reflection, which this hasn't been polished yet. It's only been compounded. So I'm going to go ahead and compound the rest of this hood and fender, and then we'll take a look at it right before we polish it. So that's how it looks after it's been compounded. Got a pretty good shine on it. Sun's coming around, so gonna have to probably video mostly over here on the fender, but we showed the difference between the fender and the door earlier, and you can tell by that reflection it looks just as good as that door does. So now we're going to get some polish on here. And by polish, of course, I mean the old bolt polish. And just wanted to video this right quick. This is another one of those pads. The black one is for polishing. So again, you can go on Amazon and look at these Hex Logic pads. They're pretty cool. These are pretty old. I've done quite a few cars with them. They're holding up pretty well. Starting to get a little wear here, but we'll get polishing and come back and show you what that looks like. Well, the polishing step is pretty much like the compounding step, just using the different materials, but our flashlight test shows to be a very nice reflection in that paint now. Can't really do much about some of this body damage and the dents and that kind of thing, so we're not doing a full-blown paint correction here, obviously, but we just want to get it a little bit nicer looking for the presentation when this truck gets given to my son-in-law. So anyway, I think I'll get it washed up and show you how the whole job turned out. Well, there's the finished product. I don't know why I like having the flashers on when I do beauty shots. It's just the thing I do. But that has a nice shine on it now. If you look at that hood, down the sides, it's polished up pretty nicely. No matter how much I buffed, the dents wouldn't come out, so you just won't worry about those. I think the best part of this truck is probably these rally wheels. They turned out really nice with the new center caps and just getting the dirt off of them. I think Ashley spent a good hour cleaning this bed out and power washing it and scrubbing it. It looks really nice. Not pristine, of course. This thing was used as a truck, as it should be. We'll probably get some yellow paint on that tailgate eventually. I gotta say, I'm pretty happy with the way this thing turned out with just a few days of cleaning, and I don't know, maybe under $100 worth of cleaning supplies. Half of that was the center caps. We're gonna take this thing over tomorrow and get it dropped off to my son-in-law. Hopefully he's gonna love it as much as we do already. And we'll get some videos out of this going forward. Thanks for watching.